Well, good afternoon or good morning, depending on which area of the globe you are in. My name is Juan José Pérez, the coordinator of UCAM Spanish Sports University in Murcia. In this session, under the UCAM marketing logo, there is also my colleague José Carlos Díaz, the coordinator at the Madrid headquarters. First of all, thank for your attendance at today's sessions of our second edition of UCAM Spanish Sports University Weeks, a week in which we try to bring all professionals interested in the sport field a little dose of knowledge of different areas in which we work from the department through a variety of daily webinars. For these afternoon sessions, we have the opportunity to have Alicia Garrido, Executive Director of Sports and Business, organizing company of the Solheim Cup, which will be held in Spain in 2023. We also have Óscar Yáñez, who is currently a Sport Tech Director at Grand Thornton and board member at the Sport Biz Lab. Thank you both very much for being here with us this afternoon. Well, Óscar, Alicia, I let you on the floor.
Thank you, Juanjo. First of all, thank you, UCAM University, for inviting me to join this webinar. I think that it's quite interesting that this university get into this new way of industry that merge these two different aspects at the beginning. So if it's okay, I'm going to share a short presentation. I'm going to share my screen. Please just tell me if you are seeing this properly.
Yes.
Yes, Óscar.
Yes? Fantastic. So let's start the presentation. Yes. So today, to start this presentation would be just briefly, no more than 10 minutes. I think that it's important to understand for the one that mainly that, first of all, people that, loves sports industry, or on the other hand, they love the tourism industry itself. I think that is important, and it's something that is remarkable to understand that this industry is not just the adding two sectors, or just the sum of two aspects. No, it's like if you mix the industry of tourism and you put like an adding the sports industry, and you have this new way of business. It's completely opposite to that kind of thought. So if we go directly to that academic definition, the sports tourism for sure is a travel with intention of being involved with a sporting activity or event. And that would be the short definition. And now beyond that, for this presentation, we will see just these 6 points to understand that, right? So if we start about the history of the sports tourism, maybe we have to think like almost 3,000 years ago, the Greeks were traveling to take part in and watch the ancient Greek games, and not only aspects of politics and the aspects of entertainment regarding the packaging the sports and offering the sports to the population in those ancient times was part of the tourism industry itself. So when we think about these aspects of the sports industry, it's nothing so new for the one who have been studying this. But if we have to move to the modern times and think about the actual times, about the current times, and thinking about the sports tourism history, it was like in the first modern Olympic Games that happened in Greece too, the Athens in 1896. Just in that time, the people thought that, as we can see this quote from people that have studied this event, that the most interesting aspects of the Olympic Games not only lay in the sports participation or in the event itself, but all around the destination, all about what happened with the history of the Greek Olympics events, and all about the sport itself. But as we can see about it, is not only one sport event. But as we're gonna see now, if we have to talk about the sports tourism, we have to see the both sides of the same coin. On one side, we have the sports and tourism. It means all about the travel and all about travel, accommodation, economic impact, and mentions about what happened when a sports event is happening or the sports activity is happening and people go there from one place to another. But two, it's important how the tourist industry could be improved or could grow thanks to the sports activity. So with a short research, we can see that if we go to the first years of the 20th century and the 1907, and with the Pacific Electric Railway, the owner of the Pacific Electric Railway, Mr. Huntington, he was on holidays in Hawaii, and he saw the surfers there on the sea, and he was amazed about the activity of the sports in the waves in Hawaii. And he identified one of the most remarkable surfers there, that was Frith, this surfer surfing in Hawaii. So he decided that in order to promote the destination of the West Coast, and most precisely Los Angeles, from the railway route from LA to Redondo Beach, he decided to promote the visitors to this destiny thanks to the surf. So I think that most probably this was one of the first moments when the tourism industry fought on sports as a tool to help to bring people to a destiny, and it was thanks to the surf. So I think that with that aspects about the sports tourism, we see now some maybe more academic definition about the sports and tourism. As you can see on the left side of the screen, we have the aspects of the sports and tourism. When we're talking about the sports and tourism, we see something more related with the destination, with the productization of a destination, about the activity of the sports and tourism. Here, we are thinking about the traveling to observe sports or participate in sports. So, for example, the hard definition, as we see here, aspects as Olympic Games, soccer matches like World Championships, events like Wimbledon, Ryder Cup, etc. Or in the sports and tourism soft definition, we see people that decide to participate in the sports activities and they visit some destination, but based on the sports activity. On the right side of the screen, we see the aspects of the tourism and sports. Here, the primary activity is the tourism industry itself, as all of us we know. And here we see like the tourism industry could share, for example, with other trends nowadays that could be, for example, audiovisual or cinematography tourism, like people who visit some places because maybe some movie or some TV show has been made in that destination. So we have tourism and culture, tourism and audiovisual, and for sure, tourism and sport. Here, the same as in the other, we have the soft definition, when we see like the visitors who engage in some minor form of sport or leisure is more related with the entertainment area of the sport. And we have then the hard definition. Here we have like the tourists see this destination like a secondary performance to decide to visit the destination and enjoying there. So based on this academic definition, we can decide that we have three different products regarding destination, or three different types of a destination in the sports and tourism. One would be the active sports and tourism that maybe all of us we know. Second would be regarding the event sports and tourism. And the three part would be something more like more engaged with the fans, about the nostalgia, about visit a place, about the legacy of an event or the destination that is related with some kind of storytelling framework. So that regarding the nostalgia, the tourists decide to go to that destination. So once we have set this framework, maybe we have to go to the next step, that is the tourism. That who are these people? Who are these in business, maybe we can call it the buyer persona, who decide to buy a ticket and enjoy this kind of industry. So for that, we have to set, first of all, regarding sports and tourism, we have the professional athletes. We are talking about professional sport people who, for example, travel for visit an event, maybe for training, could be pre-season. We have seen in so many countries when they have set some facilities in order to help athletes to prepare the seasons, or if there is some kind of stop in the middle season, for sure, in order to improve their performance, like elite centers to develop their activity, or some professional athletes who decide to visit a place not for performance activities, but for example, health reasons, like recover any kind of injury or whatever. And then we have the amateur sport tourisms, that is, as I mentioned before, regarding the product destination about the active sports. They used to go in groups, but to individual, about organization. Is related to with aspects of well-being and health aspects of these amateurs, that they decide to visit a destination not only because of the sports activity, but because they have something that add the experience when they visit the place. And for sure, what we call, when we're talking about the grassroots of the sports, the youth camps. So I think that we can set these two profilings about the people who are based in that destination. And again, if we move and we match the destination with the people who visit there, we have to the destination who decide to add value. Again, here we have some examples about the end of the 19th century, when some resorts decide to open course golfs, or some resorts decide to open tennis courts or cricket, in order to help the family to pick some destination. So here is like the tourism use sports to add in some value and make differentiation from their competitors. Some resorts, some destination, they see these like toppings, like some aspects to decide to some aspects to help the destination, to give some services to the families, to the children. And for sure, this is more focused on resorts and visits to any kind of destination. It could be related to with the nature and tourism. This is something that we have to say to that about in a destination, the connection between the tourist development and the natural environment is something that is has to be mentioned, and not few destinations use this. And then we have, when we see the tourism and sports as a second activity, here what we see is, again, we see the aspects of the nostalgia visitors regarding the sports. The profile are mainly sports fans, two regarding aspects of healthy living, and they see the sports not only like an active sports, like an amateurism performance, but they see itself like people who loves to play some kind of sports, and they see that as a hobby, so they want to enjoy that. Saying that, we can move now to the more business aspects. I think that if someone is interested about the definition of the sports tourism industry, is not only about the scenario where different agents are interacting between themselves, but to what it means for the whole global industry, like tourism, one of the most important industries. Okay, so I see here's like a few numbers about, like, for example, Europe is the largest market in terms of tourism, sports and tourism industry before the US. And like we see like the $450 billion were generated by the sports and tourism. So we can say that, first of all, we are talking about about like individual industry. We are not talking just about like a hybrid or like a Zoom or something that it's connect sometimes, that just connecting the dots in specific times. Not at all. We are talking about a specific industry who needs a specific kind of managers and who needs a specific strategies in terms of business development. And this kind of characteristics it gives to the sports and to this industry its definition as an isolated, could be say, an isolated industry. Regarding the economic impact of the sports and tourism industry, I think that we could see the evolution in terms of to what it means, the evolution of this industry. I think that on the left we have the spending about sports related to travel, spending on annual growth in the last, for sure that we know about this, the kind of situation that we are living from the last year. So I think that it's more precisely just to talk about what is going to happen, what happened till 2019, and about what the people is saying is the most probably after the next year we would get back to this kind of figures and keep windy growing. So I think that it's remarkable how this industry is growing in this kind of figures. And on the right side of the screen we have the sorry, because I don't now. I see in the levels of the sports travelers. It means about the definition that we saw before of the profiling, like families, amateurs, professionals, and all the people around this kind of industry. So as we can see, just that the 2%, the 2 years ago, the increase of the 2% in the people who was traveled around in this case, these figures are only about the US, but I think that is representative, that it's something that shows the importance of this sector. And now, just to finish this presentation, and in order to introduce to Alicia and about this important event as the Solheim Cup, when we are talking about the sports events and the sports tourism, we have to see three different aspects to give value to the destination. First of all, we are talking about the functional differentiation. What we are seeing here is not only, for example, about the developing of the facility management, all about the stadiums, arenas, hotels. Is beyond that is the expertise in the event operation as communication that will help to the development of the region, of the territory where the event is going to be held. So we are talking about the know-how, we are talking about something that is tangible and intangible. Second, and in my opinion, something that is quite important in a transversal perspective, in a wide point of view, not only regarding sports, it's about how this event and the values of this event help to design and support the brand target of any territory, and how this is not only one shot. If you manage in a proper way this kind of a sports event, you will have the pre-event, the communications of the pre-event, the communications during the celebration of the event, and for sure all about the legacy and all about will happen in the short and in the long term about what was this kind of event management. And in my opinion, the most important part always is the economic impact of this kind of management. That is for sure all regarding the economic impact in terms of accommodation, employee, taxes, or any other kind of industries that in a direct or indirect way are related with the sport event. So I hope that have be enough, and I think that with this I finish my presentation. I don't know if you need anything else, Juanjo.
Oh, thank you so much, Óscar. Alicia, if you want to start, and then we will pass to the question rounds, okay?
Of course, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, I'd like to start with a short video to show you what the Solheim Cup is, because I think an image is much better than me explaining it.
blue and red. Power and touch. Focus and feelings. Success and failure. Europe versus USA. For the first time ever, the biggest event in women's sport. Will be held in Spain. Solheim Cup, Finca Cortesín, Andalusia, Spain, 2023. Vamos, girls.
Well, I think this was much better than me explaining what is the Solheim Cup. So you've seen it's the biggest sports events in women's sports worldwide. And let me show a presentation I've worked with. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So, well, I wanted to start explaining a little bit what the Solheim Cup is, and then we will show you the venue, and then we will talk about the social and economic implications and the legacy of this kind of event. So the Solheim Cup, as you've seen, is the most spectacular women's competition in the world of golf. It's the Ladies Ryder Cup version, the fight between best players in Europe against the best US team in a match play format. And it will be held from the 18th to the 24th of September 2023 in Finca Cortesín in Spain. So it's a sports event capable of attracting more than 100,000 spectators to experience live, with a very specific profile, as you can see here, which makes it really interesting for many companies and sponsors who wants to reach this kind of persons, but of course, for the destination. In terms of media impact, the Solheim Cup is, well, it's huge worldwide, with over 850 hours of television exposure and media value over 21 million euros. It has a consolidated exposure in traditional markets for the Andalusia tourism, which is Europe, but it also opens new gateways to markets such as the USA and Asia. And this is why this event is so important for a destination, a tourist destination as Andalusia, because they really want to open to new markets, and they want more American people coming to Andalusia to play golf and to spend some holidays. So in terms of social media, there's an exponential growth, not only because of the event itself, but because of the players and also because of spectators who viralized everything. For instance, these are data from 2019. The number of video views reached 7.7 million, and the online readerships were 3.2 billion. So it's really huge exposure in social media. So this is not just a week. This is not just 2023. The Solheim Cup is, it's coming to Spain for the first time in history. And it's a 5-year journey, because this is a project that started in 2019. What we offered to the Ladies European Tour was a full project with not only the Solheim Cup, but also the Spanish Open, which is the last event of the season on the Ladies European Tour. And we offered the sponsorship of the Order of Merit, which is called now the Race to Costa del Sol. So every single week, there's a golf tournament on the Ladies European Tour. The Costa del Sol has its exposure because of that sponsorship of the race to Costa del Sol. So, well, this is just the perfect excuse to grab the world's attention in a tourist region which is the Costa del Sol. And what else? Well, the event is a sustainable event, not only because of the visibility of women's sport or charity actions, but also because Costa del Sol is the leading province in Europe in terms of watering with recycled water. And the venue is the only one 100% recycled water. So this is really important. And now I'll introduce the venue to you all. For those who are not here in Spain, well, the event is held every other year, but it only comes to Europe every 4 years because once it's in Europe and the next edition is in the States. So in 2019, it was the last edition of the Solheim Cup in Europe. It took place at Gleneagles in Scotland. And in 2023 will be the following event in Europe. And it will come to Spain, to Andalusia, to the province of Malaga, and to the area of Costa del Sol, which is a unique location on the Mediterranean. As I said before, this is the first time it comes to Spain, but it's the first time it comes to a Mediterranean country, which is really important. Because when coming to Europe, it used to go to the north of Europe, where it always rains. But here, hopefully, we will have a sunny Solheim Cup. So Finca Cortesín is just in between Marbella and Sotogrande, which is the heart of the golf offer at Costa del Sol. It's located in Casares, a beautiful town in Malaga. And this is a spectacular independently owned hotel, golf and spa resort. It's a 5 stars luxury hotel. It's set in the rolling hills between Marbella and Sotogrande, as I said, and it has great views over the Mediterranean coastline. And the golf course is one of the top golf courses in Europe. It was designed by Cable Robinson. It's a challenging course for professionals, for both professional and amateur players. And the hotel, it's a luxury hotel that has been awarded many times because it's a unique lodging experience. It has 67 suites and 4 restaurants and, all kind of luxury facilities. So, I think the image we will broadcast of the Costa del Sol with Finca Cortesín will be just spectacular. So let's have a look at the social implications of this kind of event. I think because of it is a 5 years project, as I said, we got this event for Spain for the first time without a tender, because the Ladies European Tour understood that the destination warranted an organizational capability. So we were able to join plenty of institutions into the project. All of them, they saw this was great for the region and they worked together to get it. So this is just some fast facts about the golf industry in Costa del Sol, so that you can understand the impact of the golf sector in this province. The impact on the golf on production and income and employment is calculated over 1.5 billion euros a year between direct and indirect revenue. And the impact on employment in the province of Malaga is equally important. It generates over 10,000 direct jobs and further 7,100 induced jobs. So, here's a look of all the golf courses all around the Costa del Sol. It has more than 70 golf courses in Malaga. which makes it the leading golf travel destination in Southern Europe. Well, in addition to its top-class infrastructures and services for golfers, obviously Malaga has an ideal weather for playing golf all year round, which makes it so special, and that's why it has so many awards in the tourism industry. Well, here are the institutions involved. As I said, the biggest success up to now has been that all of these institutions have joined the project. They understood the importance of it for the tourism of Malaga, and well, I'm really proud of this, because it's not always easy to put together so many institutions, but this time we got it. So that's why the Solheim Cup is coming to the Mediterranean. So let's talk about the opportunities that the Solheim Cup brings to Costa del Sol. Well, as it's the first time in history, it will revitalize the Costa del Sol as a destination. I don't know if you're aware that there was a Ryder Cup in Costa del Sol in 1997. It was in Valderrama. And since then, the golf industry has grown hugely. Now, with the Solheim Cup in 2023, the Costa del Sol really wants to keep moving on top of golf destinations worldwide. So, well, the project is promotion of women's golf to attract families, not only golfers as groups of males. Sometimes golfers are just men who travel with friends and just drinks some beers after their golf rounds, and that's it. But being involved in the promotion of women's golf, Costa del Sol has studied that they will reach a different kind of golf tourism, which is the families and women, which are the scissors in holidays for the families. And it's really important, the impact of women's golf in that industry. Okay, so social challenges will be, well, obviously there's an opportunity for all the community to collaborate in the promotional activities, because this is a boost for the whole area. And as I said, the event is a sustainable project which will help the area with watering, with gender equality, and with quality of infrastructures. And well, social challenges, getting involved in participating in the events. As I said, it's a 5 years project, because the Spanish Open is held every year since 2019 at the end of the season in November, which is a low season for the area. It helps a lot because it has a lot of direct impact in economy. And well, here's the forecast for the attendance of the event in Spain. We think we will get over 85,000 course visits with 40,000 unique spectators. So the goal is to get 3,000 people coming from the USA. There's something very special about this Solheim Cup. Well, it's special because it comes to Spain, but it's also special because in 2023, we will have the Solheim Cup in Costa del Sol, and the following week, there will be the Ryder Cup in Italy. And this has never happened before, because usually the Ryder Cup and the Solheim Cup are organized in different years, alternative years. But because of COVID last year, Solheim Cup couldn't be played in the US, so it came to the 21, and so in 23 we will have both events in Europe. So I think this is a really important opportunity to get plenty of Americans coming to Europe, stay in one week with us in Costa del Sol and then traveling to Italy to watch the Ryder Cup. So, well, as I said, it's great, and there are new business opportunities for local entrepreneurs, and it will generate a lot of employment and wealth. We'll see it later with the economic impact. And well, I think Solheim Cup is synonymous with excellence. So the brand positioning of Costa del Sol will be really strong. And now I wanted to talk about the economic implications. These are real facts of the 2023 Solheim Cup. We have already blocked over 75 hotels for the event in the area. And up to now, we have signed agreements with 32, I think, official tour operators worldwide. There are tour operators from the States, from north of Europe, from Asia. So we really feel this will be this will have a huge impact in golf industry. Well, we have over 200 direct suppliers. Most of them, they're local companies, which helps us with the sustainable project. And there's over 150 companies involved in hospitality packages. So the expected impact in terms of, well, direct economic effects, I don't know if you can see, we have in terms of euros and in terms of employment. So you can see that the event management will live over 18 million euros in the area, but spectators will live over 190 million euros in the area, which is a huge direct economic effect. And in terms of employment, you can see that it's over 2,300 people that will be employed because of this event. So here you can see the huge direct impact in economy. And this is the income distribution for attendees. The expenses on site will be quarter of it, more or less. Accommodation, another quarter, and the expenses off site is over 30%. So, in essence, it's a big opportunity with the direct economic impacts over 200 million euros, more than 200 jobs created, and a media value over 25 million euros. So this will help repositioning and relaunching Costa del Sol as a high-quality golf destination. And the legacy, which is really important, because I said in 97, we had the Ryder Cup in Valderrama. Since then, when you ask an American person if they know about Andalusia, they maybe will say no. But if you say Valderrama, they say, oh, yes, Valderrama, of course, that's where the Ryder Cup was. And we think this will happen again with Finca Cortesina and the Solheim Cup in 2023. So the legacy will be mainly in three areas. We will reinforce Costa del Sol as a leading golf destination, for sure. We will lead to the sustainability and those strong values of the event. And there's another legacy, which is really important for the event, is the promotion of grassroots, of women's golf and golf in general, and sports on Costa del Sol, Andalusia, and of course throughout Spain. So, well, that's it. This is the presentation I've prepared for you. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alicia, for your interventions. Let's see. Please, José Carlos, if you can share our presentation. And before moving on to the round of questions from the attendees, to allow time for them to do their doubts or questions through the question and answer tool, as Mark has already done, we are going to make a quick introduction to our department of UCAM Spanish Sports University, a university school in which we include the different programs and branches of knowledge related with sports training. And why we trying to start. Okay, José Carlos, please, the next one. Thank you. We usually distinguish 4 general branches in which our master programs related to sport are concerned. The first one is sport management, sport marketing and communication, sport performance, and health and physical activity. In order to be able to talk on such different topics, we have a wide range of master programs in both Spanish and English, some of which are taught at the campus Murcia or at the Madrid headquarters, all of them with some leading teachers in the industry. We hope to soon be able to include our training in Master in Sport Tourism Management. Okay. Currently, we are in a collaboration with Barça Innovation Hub to include some information and training course from Barça that we think that could be a really positive experience to our students. We cannot forget the experience that UCAM offers to their students, developing a completely international environment, which allows to meet people from different parts of the world, which make you to grow professional and personally. A clear professional orientation in their programs. For this, we have the best teachers in each of the branches in which we offer training. With an academic guarantee, we have the endorsement of the QS star rating system, among other academic rankings, which value what the evaluation made by our students of our programs are being. And one of the main points that our students value is the networking that is carried out in the different programs, since it allows them to have contact with the main reference of the industry in which they wish to specialize, as well as with colleagues who are already working within of it, or they will be the future professionals. In order to offer both training focused on the professional field and practice of the highest quality possible, we collaborate with different entities and institutions with an extensive experience in the sport fields. And well, finally, we invite you to sign up for the eWeek sessions. All the information and registration platforms about them are available on our website as well as on our social networks. Now we move on to the round of questions from the attendees. Okay, the first one from Mark Benson. This is a pretty geopolitical question. I think that that could be for both of you. What do you think could be the impact of the organization of a sporting event on the diplomatic relation between two countries? Do you think it can favor relationships or increase the tension between them?
Óscar, you want to go first?
Yes.
You're mute.
Yes. No. Well, I love the Greeks, and I think that we're and the Romans, so we can today the academics and in politics, we used to talk about the soft power on the sports relationship, about the strength that the sports events and the sports relationship has in the political aspects. But we can go back to I think that it's called the Olympic truth, right? When during the Olympic event, they decide to stop any kind of violent relationship between countries and between territories in order to be able to celebrate and manage the sports event, the competitions. And I think that it happens today. Reading this question, I have to think about what happened I think that it was in the Winter Olympic Games of the 2018 that in the South Korea, in order to help the relationships between North Korea and the US. I have some memories about it. And so I think that it's sports here, more than as an industry, it's more a social driver that could help in order to the kind of the dynamics between countries or between politics. So in my opinion, a sports event only could give something positive. And a sports event, exactly the same, only can give something positive. But as always, it depends on who is the manager and how you manage that. But it's a positive tool. That's my humble opinion.
Fully agree, Óscar. I couldn't explain it better than you. Yeah, I think it will always favor relationships. Diplomatic relationship, for sure.
Nice, thank you so much. This one is for Alicia. What do you think are the challenges golf faces with the new generations? Will the same situation that is happening with football happen? Thank you very much for your responses.
Thank you. Well, of course, golf faces plenty of challenges, as every sport, and well, as in every aspect of our life, I think. But I think we need to focus on new technologies. In order to get young people have interest in professional golf, that's for sure, and we're working hard on that. But I think golf is a very special sport because Óscar was explaining at the beginning that there's active and passive tourism, and golf is really interesting because when someone travels to a golf event, such as the Solheim Cup, they come as a passive spectator just to watch golf, but they also come as active people because they not only go to the golf course and watch golf live, but they also go to the golf course in the surroundings and they play rounds of golf. So it's a mixture of active and passive golf. So in terms of golf tourism, I think it's quite a different sport from any other. And I think that helps a lot. But obviously, there's a lot of challenges. And I don't know if you know, there has been a lot of tries to think about playing golf in less than 1 hour, because when you play a golf round, you need at least 4 hours. And there's plenty of people that don't have that amount of time to play golf. So on the European tour, they try to organize golf events with 9 holes instead of 18. And there's also some activities like speed golf, which is really nice because you run and play golf. And there's plenty of new ideas to face those challenges we have. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much, Alicia. The next question is from Michael O'Brien. Hello, I have a question for both speakers. What challenges will have to face the tourists after COVID-19 world pandemic? Do you think is it necessary to have a healthy card to travel around?
Wow. This is I will help Alicia again. No, I think that it's a question that goes. It's above all the kind of a tourism industry. I think that as Alicia and me, we are working in the sports industry, and what we are seeing is the impact in the tourism activity. Specific talking about people who visiting a destination according to enjoy a sports event. I think that the sports industry itself is showing professionalism and a very good manners to avoid any kind of trouble regarding COVID. I think that last year, I think we have very good examples about here in Spain. It was the finals of the first division of basketball of the ACB that were held in Valencia. No positives. And it was excellent. It was a fantastic, event. And about what happened in the NBA playoffs in Florida, exactly the same. But it's true that both events were without public. If we are thinking about what is happening in the new stage about the COVID and the sports event, I think that Tokyo will be the milestone to see what is going to happen in a sports event. And after what happened in Tokyo and the Olympic events, we'll see the next steps and what is going to happen with the visitors and the tourism in the sports event. But about some people, and I'm lucky because I have worked with some in some projects with the Olympics, and I think they are very good professionals, and I'm pretty sure that they're going to do an excellent job. But first of all, we have to admit that it is something that nobody knew what is going to happen. It's something that is so remarkable. It's something historical, and I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and again, golf is different here because it's an open air sport, and I think it's 100% healthy. It's the first sport we could practice here in Spain, I think worldwide, because when you practice golf, you really feel safe because you can be 20 meters far from your colleague. And I think it's a really healthy sport. So, for instance, in Costa del Sol, plenty of towns, they've decided to have their safe label, so that tourism understand that traveling to this destination is safe and healthy in terms of COVID. But obviously, who knows what will happen? As Óscar said, we need to wait and see what happens in Tokyo, and we'll see. I think, maybe we'll need a vaccination card more than a healthy card, but we'll see. Yeah, that's something above us.
Thank you so much. The next question is from Ennio Cornejo. And Ennio writes, is it possible to organize the Solheim Cup in South America?
Well, not nowadays, Ennio, because the Solheim Cup, it's a fight between Europe and USA. So it must be on European soil or United States. But there are other competitions that teams are from all around the planet, but not the Solheim Cup, not now. Solheim Cup and Ryder Cup is just Europe versus USA.
Okay, thank you so much, Alicia. And I think that the next question is to both of participants. Which countries are the leaders in sports tourism in Europe, America, and Asia? Australia could be the leader in Oceania?
Well, in this case, we have to think regarding sports and tourism. We have two aspects. First of all, we have talking about the private sector of the sports and tourism, and then the public sector about how a country develops its brand country as a destination in order to practice sports. So once that we have done this separation between both aspects, we have to say that the US are one of the main industries in terms of sports and tourism, but because about the movements that they have inside the country, about all the travelers and all the events organizers, and it's an industry itself. It's a huge country for this sector. In Europe, we have to say that Germany is the main country in terms of travelers, sports travelers, with the UK. But first Germany and then the UK are the both countries in Europe who are more who are the leaders in this industry. And Australia and New Zealand, they are two big countries in the sector, but they are not leaders. When we are talking about leaders in the sports industry, we are talking about the countries who are developing any kind of a strategy regarding the sports and tourism. So we have to think about it. We are not talking about the countries that expand, regarding the expenses in this sector, about the travelers from the origin to the destiny. So about the question you're making about China, no, China is not. China did some activations in order to position its country in terms of, we go back again to the concept of the soft power and the concept of the brand destination with sports. China did it. But we have to see the leaders in this are the US, German, and UK as destination for sports and tourism.
Okay, thank you so much, Óscar. And well, I think that the next question from Ennio and George I can answer because they have some about the available of the master in sport tourism management. We hope that really soon we will have more information and it will be available to visit in our website, but currently we don't have it open. So don't worry, because we will share to your email when we have it open, the information about it. Okay, as a last question, I want to do one from myself. And it is, which event could be similar to the Solheim Cup in terms of economic impact?
Sorry?
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I think it's for me, but maybe you can answer it.
Sorry.
Well, as I said, the Solheim Cup is the world's most important women sports event. So it's difficult to have similarities. With other sports, we cannot compare it because of what I just said, that it's a kind of event that brings active and passive tourism. So when a spectator decides to travel to the event, they stay more days apart from the event itself to play golf. But we could think that Solheim Cup will be double impact than the Ryder Cup was in '97 when it was held in Costa del Sol, because of the growth of golf industry and the growth of events in general. So the impact will be huge for Spain itself.
Nice. Thank you so much, Alicia. And well, thank you very much for both the speaker and the participant for investing your time with us. We think that, at least if you want to share something else, I think that we can finish because we don't have any other question. I think that we can finish the webinar. Thank you very much. And we are at your entire disposal to any doubt or concern at our website, our social networks, or at our email. And that's, we remain at your entire disposal. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. It was a pleasure. Bye.
Bye.